We're going to begin in a moment. This is a seminar on management technology, all the hot new stuff that you should be aware of. My name is Dan Margulies. I'm the Executive Director of Associated Builders and Owners of Greater New York. We are an association of builders and owners in Greater New York, and we're also the Manhattan chapter of the National Association of Home Builders. And our claim to fame in these surroundings is that we also sponsor and run the National Registered and Apartment Management Certification Program. I hope many of you are RAM or will consider becoming RAM. As if this is a panel on technology, and so we have a challenge. First challenge of the panel is put your phone on vibrate. How many of you know how to do that? Okay. Let's see. Okay, I did it. Does anyone need help? Okay. You think I'm joking, but in fact, some people need help to do that. I know they must because phones ring all the time during seminars. And I just wanted, again, I'll do some more audience participation. How many of you carry smartphones? Okay. And how many of, obviously I would say almost all of you, show of hands, use email or text in management in some way? Everyone? Okay. How many of you use other functions for management, such as monitoring the temperature in your building or any other functions than email or text on your smartphone for management? We have one. About two? Okay. So 3, there we go. So these phones have a lot of capacity, but not everyone is using them for a variety of reasons. We'll talk about that. I should also mention that I'm going to tell you a lie. I got into my office early this morning, and in order to get into the office, I had to use my thumbprint because my office suite has a thumbprint ID lock. And you put your thumb on the scanner and you press in a code in order to get in the building. Now the lie about that is that wasn't really in early this morning, and the door was already open. But if I had been early, that's how I would have gotten into my office. No keys, thumbprint. And that is making its way slowly into residential, something we can discuss later. And we have 3 wonderful panelists today. They each have a slightly different perspective on technology, how they're using it in their businesses, and where things are going. I will get right to them. We have a good-sized audience, but not unreasonable. We have microphones around the room. There's going to be plenty of time for questions and interaction. So make notes. We're going to get a short presentation from each person, and then we're going to open up and try and be pretty freewheeling. The first person I'm going to introduce is Greg Carlson. He's one of New York's most experienced and well-known property managers. He manages the Fairview at Forest Hills, a 422-unit cooperative, but more importantly, he's chairman of the National RAM Board, my boss in that respect. He's president of NYARM, Margie's boss, here today. And he's on the board of every other national and local and state association having anything to do with cooperatives, and has been president or chairman of just about every one of the national and state organizations. It's really ridiculous, and Greg, you need a life. Greg is also my hero this month because Friday he flew a drone around his building, and we'll hear a little bit about that. Greg?
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, push the switch on button.
That would help.
Yeah, it's a
Talking about
high-tech seminar.
technology, high tech, right?
Yes, during the early summer, I was watching some news program and they were talking about these helicopter drones that would take pictures of movies. And I got an idea. I said, wow, that would be nice if I could inspect the outside of my buildings with this device, this drone. So I went and bought one. But first of all, it's really a toy. I mean, you know, for $300, it's a toy. But you can use it, all right? I have, the building that I manage is a 14-story building. I have gotten it up to 6, 7 stories so far. The problem with these, there's probably more expensive but more stable, you know, drones. But for $300, this thing goes up and it's controlled by either your iPhone or your iPad, or if you had a Android phone. And that's your controller to go up, down, sideways, flip around. It does have a stabilizer on it, but it has to be a perfect day, meaning no wind. Because after all, this is a piece of plastic and a good stiff wind can blow it where you don't want to know it. But I find the purpose of it to look for is if there was any leaks in the building. It is not to replace the architecture engineer, as my engineer told me. He threatened that I was trying to replace him by doing a local law 11 by a drone. The other drawback is that as of present, the battery lasts 16 minutes, and then you need a whole day to recharge it to get another 16 minutes. But from the brochure and the information I'm getting, they're coming out with a new battery that will make it last 22 minutes. All right, that extra 5 minutes, you never know when you may see. Yes. Right, or buy 5 batteries, that's true, okay? And, you know, and then you can also, if you have large items on your roof, that's another area, like a cooling tower or a water tank, and you have brick enclosures, so you bring it up to the roof, and I found that very good, but it really has to be a still day, or else that helicopter will go off that roof area, and if it's out of your range, it will plummet so many stories. There's also, there's another reason why you can use this.
A little further away.
Okay. The other way that you can use this is in showing units. You can get, right now, as you know, when you go and you buy a unit or you're renting a unit, they have these video guides. Well, this can give you a different perspective of an apartment that this device that can be used with, and there's no height limitation, because I don't know any apartment that I know of that is more than 60 or 70 foot ceilings. So I think that, and then I think that also could be done with, if you want a fast overview of the property as a marketing tool. So these are all marketing tools that you can do this. I think it's in its early infancy, and as time goes on, I think you're going to get better technology, more battery life, and better drones, okay? Unfortunately, I can't afford the ones that the government uses, so I'm left with my little Parrot drone that I've been using. Do you want to go on? Okay. Now, so I'm going to move off of that. If you, those of us who reach my age, remember when we used to talk about property management being done out of the trunk of the car, right? And that was their office, and they used to do all kinds of things because everything was paper and pen, and, you know, everything was done out of the car, and then probably they would have an office in their home or apartment. Well, now we walk around with these little devices. the iPhone, the iPad, or a tablet, or an Android. And you can very much do what you used to do with a desktop and a laptop right on your phone. You have some major companies like Yardi, who has a thing called Mobile Solutions, and RealPage, they have a mobile system that actually replicates what you would have on your desktop as far as a property management system is concerned. You could do inspection reports right on your iPhone. You could do apartment inspections. Everything is on your iPhone, is mobile. As not like we used to do back then when, and mark off a checklist or have something on paper, and now it can go and be wirelessly transferred to your home office.